Welcome to Second Chapter Stories, where we share powerful journeys of ordinary people who found the courage to begin again. These are stories of reinvention, resilience, and the unexpected opportunities that can emerge when life pushes us out of our comfort zones. Today's story is about a man who spent more than 2 decades in a classroom before making a decision that many people thought was impossible. Let's begin. At 47, Daniel worked as a software developer for a growing technology company. He enjoyed his work. He earned more than he ever had before, and for the first time in years, he felt excited about his future. What most of his colleagues didn't know was that just 3 years earlier, Daniel had been standing in front of a classroom wondering if he had waited too long to change his life. This is his story. For 22 years, Daniel was a teacher. He taught mathematics at a secondary school. His students respected him, his colleagues appreciated him, and his family considered him fortunate to have a stable profession. For a long time, Daniel agreed. Teaching had never made him wealthy, but it gave him purpose. Every year he watched students graduate and move on to bigger opportunities. He took pride in helping them succeed. But somewhere along the way, something changed. The work that once energized him began to exhaust him. The administrative demands increased. The classes grew larger, the resources became scarcer. And Daniel found himself carrying a quiet frustration he couldn't explain. He wasn't unhappy, but he wasn't fulfilled either. The feeling followed him for years. Then one evening, while helping a former student solve a programming problem online, something unexpected happened. Daniel became fascinated. What began as curiosity quickly turned into obsession. He spent evenings watching tutorials, weekends reading coding forums, late nights practicing simple projects. For the first time in years, he felt challenged in a way that excited him. But there was a problem. Daniel was 44 years old. Most of the people learning software development seemed to be in their 20s. Many had university degrees in computer science. He had none of that, just curiosity and doubt. Plenty of doubt. Whenever he considered making a career change, the questions came quickly. What if I fail? What if I'm too old? What if I leave a stable job and regret it? What if no one hires me? The questions were relentless, yet the desire refused to disappear. So Daniel made a decision. He enrolled in an online software development program. The first few months were difficult. The concepts felt overwhelming. The assignments took hours longer than expected. There were nights he questioned whether he had made a terrible mistake. Meanwhile, he continued teaching full time. His days belonged to his students. His evenings belonged to code. His weekends disappeared into projects and practice exercises. Progress was slow, sometimes painfully slow, but it was progress. After a year of study, Daniel began applying for junior developer positions. The rejections arrived quickly. Too inexperienced, not the right fit, insufficient technical background. Each rejection felt personal. Each one strengthened the voice telling him to give up. But he kept applying, and he kept learning. Then one afternoon, he received an email inviting him to a final interview. Daniel tried not to get his hopes up. He had been disappointed before, but this interview felt different. The hiring manager wasn't interested in his age or his previous career. Instead, she was impressed by something else: persistence, discipline, the ability to learn. Qualities Daniel had spent more than 2 decades developing as a teacher. A week later, he received an offer. It wasn't a senior position, it wasn't a large salary, but it was an opportunity. And for Daniel, that was enough. The transition wasn't easy. He often felt behind his younger colleagues. He had to learn new technologies and adapt to a different work culture. But he also discovered something important. His age wasn't a disadvantage. His experience gave him strengths many younger professionals hadn't yet developed: patience, communication, problem solving, empathy. Within 3 years, Daniel had become one of the most respected members of his team, not because he was the smartest developer, but because he never stopped learning. Daniel's story reminds us that starting over is rarely about age. It's about courage. Many people spend years waiting for certainty before making a change. But certainty rarely arrives first. Action comes first. Then confidence follows. Daniel didn't have guarantees. He didn't know if anyone would hire him. He didn't know if the transition would succeed. He simply chose to take one step, then another and another, until the life he imagined became the life he lived. Closing. Thank you for listening to this episode of Second Chapter Stories. If this story inspired you, please subscribe for more stories of reinvention, resilience, and new beginnings. And tell us in the comments, have you ever considered changing careers later in life? What's stopping you, or what helped you make the leap? Until next time, remember, you are never too old to learn something new. And sometimes, the most rewarding chapter of your life begins after everyone else thinks the story is already written.